Hello my dear students. Today I am going to discuss regarding National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program. National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program is implemented in the states or union territories for prevention and control of vector-borne disease, namely malaria, filariasis, kala azar, Japanese encephalitis, dengue and chikungunya. States are responsible for planning, implementation and supervision of the program. Vector-borne diseases are major public health programs in India. So out of 6 vector-borne diseases, kala azar is transmitted by sand flies. Transmission depends on frequency of main vector contact. Main vector contact means main to vector contacts. Main vector density, biting time, etc. Mosquito density is directly related with water collection, clean or polluted, where mosquito breeds. Strategy for prevention and control of vector-borne diseases. Vector-borne diseases, that is in abbreviation it is NVBDCP, National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program. Students, please try to remember this abbreviation. It used to comes in your exam sometimes. So under this National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program, it is categorized in 3 main categories: disease management, integrated vector management for reduction of transmission, and supportive interventions. So under the disease management, early detection of case, complete treatment of the case, strengthening of referral services, epidemic preparedness and rapid response. Under the integrated vector management for reduction of transmission includes spraying, use of bed nets means mosquito nets, larvivorous fish, anti-larval measures, environment engineering means environmental hygiene. Supportive interventions includes BCG means behavior change communication, PPP public-private partnership, intersectoral convergence, human resource development through capacity building, operational research, monitoring and evaluation, management information system, vaccination for Japanese encephalitis. So please students go through these strategies for prevention and control of vector-borne diseases. Just you try to remember the points only. There are so many things in this topic, so you try to remember only the points only. Key facts as on 2nd March 2020 by WHO regarding vector-borne diseases. Vector-borne diseases account for more than 17% of all infectious diseases, causing more than 7 lakh deaths annually. They can be caused by either parasites, bacteria or viruses. Malaria is a parasitic infection transmitted by Anopheles mosquitoes. It causes estimated 219 million cases globally, results in more than 4 lakhs deaths every year. Most of the deaths occur in children under the age of 5 years. Dengue is the most prevalent viral infection transmitted by Aedes mosquito. Other viral diseases transmitted by vectors includes chikungunya fever, Zika virus fever, yellow fever, West Nile fever, Japanese encephalitis. All these are transmitted by mosquitoes. Tick-borne encephalitis, that is transmitted by ticks. and kala jar that only transmitted by sandfly. So many of vector-borne diseases are preventable through protective measures and community mobilization. National Anti-Malaria Program. So out of these vector-borne diseases, 6 major public health problems. So number 1 is malaria. So malaria is one of the serious public health program in India. It is one of the major communicable disease affecting mankind, caused by Plasmodium parasite, transmitted by the bite of infected female Anopheles mosquitoes. There are 4 species of Plasmodium parasites. These are Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium malari, Plasmodium ovale. So out of these 4 species, Plasmodium vivax and Plasmodium falciparum is very common in our states. A countrywide comprehensive program to control malaria was recommended in 1946 by Bhore Committee report that was endorsed by the Planning Commission in 1951. That means Bhore Committee in the year 1946, this malaria control program is recommended, and Planning Commission in the year 1951, this report is is accepted and planning for control of malaria. National program against malaria has a long history since that time. So milestones from malaria program control activities in India. Prior to 1953, estimated malaria cases in India was 75 million and deaths due to malaria was 0.8 million. In the year 1953, launching of National Malaria Control Program, and in the year 1958, National Malaria Control Program was changed to National Malaria Eradication Program. In the year 1965, this case of malaria was reduced to 0.1 million. And early in the year 1970, resurgence to malaria. In the year 1976, malaria cases was 6.46 million. In the year 1977, modified plan of operation implemented. In the year 1997, World Bank assisted Enhanced Malaria Control Project launched. In the year 1999, malaria program again renaming as National Anti-Malaria Program. In the year 2002, again it was renaming to National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program. In the year 2005, Global Fund assisted intensified malaria control program control project that was launched in the year 2005. In the year 2005, National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program became integral part of our NRHM, means National Rural Health Mission. In the year 2005, RDT was introduced. Rapid diagnostic test was introduced for identification of malaria cases. In 2006, ACT introduced in areas showing chloroquine resistance in falciparum malaria. In 2008, ACT extended to high Plasmodium falciparum predominant district covering about 95,000 Plasmodium falciparum cases. In the year 2008, World Bank supported National Malaria Control Project launched. In the year 2009, introduction of LLINS. This one I am coming in the next part. In the year 2010, new drug policy was initiated that new drug policy was initiated and it was implemented by 2013 onwards. In the year 2016, National Framework for Malaria Elimination in India launched. So main activities of the program includes formulating policies and guidelines, planning, technical guidance, logistics, monitoring and evaluation, coordination of activities throughout the states and union territories in consultation with national organizations such as National Center for Disease Control, National Institute of Malaria Research, collaboration with international organizations like WHO, World Bank, GFATM and other donor agencies, training, facilitating research, coordinating control activities in the interstate and inter-country border areas. So these are the main activities under the National Malaria Elimination Control Program. So, Urban Malaria Scheme, it was launched in the year 1971 to reduce or interrupt malaria transmission in towns to cities. So methodology includes where vector control by intensive anti-larval measure and drug treatment. So presently it protecting 130 million population from malaria and other mosquito-borne diseases in 131 towns in 19 states and union territories. The expert committee on malaria had recommended the inclusion of all urban areas with more than 50,000 population and reporting slight positivity rate of 5% and above under urban malaria scheme and introduction of active surveillance under this scheme. So these are regarding the urban malaria scheme, and it is nowadays it is under the Malaria Elimination Control Program, National Malaria Elimination Control Program. In 2016 to 2030 National Framework for Malaria Elimination in India, the activities, goals and objectives are as explaining just for your understanding only. And students, please remember that you have to just go through all these program and you try to remember the specific one. Then regarding this national framework you can go through and you just remember the goals and objectives for national malaria elimination in India, and the activities also point wise you can remember. The national framework for malaria elimination in India was launched in the year 2016 in the month of February. So goals for national malaria elimination program in India: elimination of malaria throughout the entire country by 2030. Goal was elimination of malaria throughout the entire country by 2030. Maintain malaria free status in areas where malaria transmission has been interrupted or prevent reintroduction of malaria. Objectives of the program were: by 2020 transmission of malaria interrupted and zero indigenous cases in all states and union territories. By 2024 incidence of malaria to be reduced to less than 1 case per 1000 population. So by 2027 indigenous transmission of malaria to be interrupted. By 2030 malaria to be eliminated throughout the country. So these are the main objectives of the national malaria elimination program in India. The broad strategies under this program were early diagnosis and radical treatment, case-based surveillance and rapid response, integrated vector management by means of indoor residual spray, long-lasting insecticidal nets. That one I told previously that this is the important abbreviation, so you can remember, long-lasting insecticidal nets, larval source management. So these are under integrated vector management activities. Next, epidemic preparedness and early response, monitoring and evaluation, advocacy, coordination and partnerships, behavior change communication and community mobilizations, program planning and management. So these are the strategic plan for elimination of malaria in India. Surveillance. The malaria surveillance system in India was set up in the early 1960s. The aim is to target control interventions in high transmission areas and assessing their impact. It also plays a key role in the early detection of outbreaks, active case detection and passive case detection. Active case detection, that is carried out in rural areas with blood smears collected by MPW or ANM during fortnightly home visits. Passive case detection is done in fever cases, reporting in the peripheral health volunteers, ASHA worker and at sub-centers, malaria clinic, community health center or any other secondary or tertiary level of health institutions. During 2003, National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program introduced the use of RDT for early diagnosis of malaria. RDT means Rapid Diagnostic Test. In 2012, bivalent RDT were introduced to detect Plasmodium vivax and as well as Plasmodium falciparum. Sentinel survey also a part of under this program. Sentinel surveillance is being established in high endemic districts by selecting in each district, depending on the size, 1 to 3 sentinel sites in large hospitals for recording of all outpatient and inpatient cases of malaria and malaria related deaths. So under this program, case management and use of new drug policy of 2013, which one is being followed in country. Treatment of it includes new drug policy of 2013. It includes the treatment of uncomplicated malaria, that vivax and falciparum, and treatment of complicated or severe malaria. In case of treatment of uncomplicated vivax malaria, use of chloroquine and primaquine. Chloroquine, that is per kg body weight and divided doses over 3 dose, 25 milligram, and primaquine is 0.25 milligram per kg body weight daily for 14 days. We remember that infant and pregnant mothers are contraindicated for primaquine. And treatment of uncomplicated falciparum malaria includes the other than northeastern states, means for northeastern states specific treatment plan is there. So other than northeastern states, first day artemisinin based combination therapy, that in the milestone of malaria, there were a abbreviation of ACT, introduction of ACT. So artemisinin based combination therapy. ACT means artemisinin based combination therapy. SP means sulfadoxine and pyrimethamines. Students, please remember the name of medicine and dose you can administer as per the prescription of the patients. Prescription prescribed by physicians. So, in addition with the artemisinin based combination therapy, primaquine tablet also should be given for on second day. These are the treatment policy for the states other than northeastern states. For northeastern states, ACT-AL. ACT means artemisinin based combination therapy includes artemether and lumefantrine. So, these are not recommended during first trimester of pregnancy and children below 5 kg of body weight. So, please be remember during administration of medication, you have to remember that this medicine is not recommended for first trimester pregnancy, pregnant women and children below 5 kg of body weight. You have to remember this name of medicine for our states. Treatment for severe and complicated malaria includes initial parenteral treatment for at least 48 hours, any one of the following option: either 20 mg quinine salt per kg body weight IV infusion or IM, or the medicine, whatever the medicine is prescribed in the patient's prescription, you just administer carefully, or artesunate IV or IM per kg body weight, or artemether 3.2 mg IM, or artemether 150 mg daily IM for 3 days. So, these are the treatment plan for severe and complicated malaria. Integrated vector management. So, NVBCDP means National Vector Borne Control Disease Control Program aims to achieve effective vector control by the appropriate biological, chemical or environmental interventions of proven efficacy separately or in combination as appropriate to the area for the optimal use of resources. The measures of vector control and protection includes measures to control adult mosquitoes, activities includes indoor residual spray, anti-larval measures, chemical, biological and environmental means, and personal protection such as use of bed nets including insecticides, treated nets. So, these are the integrated vector management program activities. Anti-malaria month campaign. Anti-malaria month is observed every year in the month of June throughout the country prior to the onset of monsoon and transmission season to enhance the level of awareness and encourage community participation through mass media campaign and interpersonal communication, intersectoral collaborative efforts with other government departments, corporates and voluntary agencies at national, states and district levels. So, students, please remember this part is very important for anti-malaria, National Anti-Malaria Control Program or Malaria Elimination Program. Anti-malarial months that is observed in the month of June. So please try to remember an interaction of malaria control with other health programs includes integrated disease surveillance project, other vector-borne disease and reproductive and child health projects. That means for this program, malaria control program is integrated with this program. Major externally supported projects includes Global Fund supported integrated malaria control program. Phase 2 was being implemented since October 2010 for a period of 5 years in 7 northeast states. The project areas covers a population of 46 million to million in 86 districts. The strategy are early diagnosis and complete treatment, integrated vector control including promotion of ITN, EIN. Additional support includes human resource, capacity building of medical officer or lab technicians, commodities such as LLIN, RDT. Planning and administration includes monitoring, evaluation and operational research. World Bank supported project on malaria and Kala-Azar elimination. The program was in operation for 5 years since 2009 to 31st December 2013. Program phasing for elimination of malaria. Malaria elimination will be carried out in India in a phased manner because the various states or union territories have different levels of malaria burden. That means for different states, malaria burden is not same in all the states or union territories in India. So according to the burden of malaria, the classification of states and union territories are classified for elimination, classification of elimination phase. So category 1, category 2, category 3, these are the main classification head. So under the category 1, these are the states, the API, annual parasite index, is less than 1. And so these are the states are under elimination phase. So category 2, these are the states under category 2. Under these states, some of the districts reporting API more than 1, means annual parasite index is more than 1. So these are the states under pre-elimination phase. Category 3, these are the states under category 3 as API more than 1. API means annual parasite index more than 1. So these are the states are classified under intensified control phase, means to reach here in the elimination phase is so far. So students, you have studied the disease malaria and other viral diseases, vector-borne diseases during your second year GMM course. So just revising for malaria symptoms, you have studies cold stage, hot stage, sweating stage, and in details the incubation period, the epidemiology, everything you have studied during second year. So this is as a revision of your chapter as National Health Program. Symptoms of malaria, already you know that typically malaria produce fever, headache, vomiting and others, fits or convulsions, loss of consciousness, and sometimes a parasite carried by blood to brain and other vital organs, and the condition may fatal. In pregnancy, causes risk to mother, fetus, and newborn. And symptoms of severe and complicated malaria includes history of high fever plus at least one of the following symptoms: prostration, breathing difficulties, severe anemia. This is the most commonest symptoms. Generalized convulsions, fit, inability to drink or vomit, dark or limited production of urine. So risk for severe complications in areas of high transmission: children below 5 years, visitors and migratory laborers. So the states are all in all age group, all the vulnerable peoples are all age groups are vulnerable, but adults develop more severe and multiple complications. All age groups are vulnerable, but adults develop more severe and multiple complications in some of the states such as northeastern states, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, etc. And it may be associated with pregnancy, such as pregnant women are less capable of coping with cleaning malaria and adversely affecting the unborn fetus. Means the pregnant woman, if attacked with this malaria, then it will be very complicated and very serious condition which affect the unborn fetus also. Maximum transmission of malaria occurs in June to September and October to December. So approaches to malaria control, these includes the strategies for prevention and control of malaria and its transmission, surveillance and case management, that is passive and active case detection, early diagnosis, treatment and sentinel surveillance. Everything we have I have discussed previously. Then integrated vector management, which includes indoor residual spray and use of mosquito nets. Then epidemic preparedness and early response, supportive interventions, and the capacity buildings, behavior change communication, intersectoral coordination, monitoring and evaluation, and operational and applied field research activities. So these are about the approaches to control malaria and the strategies to eliminate malaria in our country. Students, go through please. So you just remember the points and try to understand the facts related to elimination of malaria in India. Thank you very much.